Sup my doggies.
Salutations.
Today, it's right brain time once again, and we are going to be talking about one of my comfort musicals, Miss Hello Dolly. It's the 1969 movie musical with Barbra Streisand and Walter Matthau, and it slays, okay? And after this video, I hope you watch it, because I watched it for the 100th time again recently, and I was blown away by the visuals and the dance. But
how many times have you actually watched it?
We're at double digits now.
Double
for
digits.
Sure. Double digits
okay.
now for
wow.
sure. But I was especially blown away by the quick wit and the plot juggling mastery. I'm going to be talking about Hello Dolly as a comedy of manners, as a romantic comedy, and hints of satirical comedy. I would describe Hello Dolly as a nice mix of Jane Austen's Emma and Oscar Wilde's The Importance of Being Earnest, which read both of those.
So for those who might not have seen Hello Dolly, what is the show about?
It juggles 3 plot lines that we are about to get into.
Okay.
It's a lot like Emma because of the romantic matchmaking, and it's a lot like Wilde due to the subtle criticisms and satire that are embedded in the narrative. So, my presentation is called Hello Dolly by Lil J.
Lil J.
By Lil J. That's me.
Since when have you been going by Lil J?
Since
Not
right
little,
now.
Lil.
I'm Lil J. And that's what I'm going to get that's what I want my students to call me when I'm a professor. Go walk in, I'm going to be like, hi Lil J. And I'm going to be like,
freaking.
What's up, dude? We're talking about Wilde's comedy. Anyway, so there's 3 plots concurrently going on. The first and main one is about Dolly and Horace Vandergelder. What are you thinking of these two? He watched it. What did you think?
I remember.
Yeah.
I will say Horace.
You resonated with him?
He was a real Horace.
Yeah, he did.
He's exactly like how you would imagine someone named Horace.
And Vandergelder.
Acts like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't you, resonate with him a bit?
We're not completely intertwined, so it's okay.
No, okay. All right. Thank God. Dolly is a matchmaker and always has her nose in someone's business. She has her slay. She does her stuff. She loves the tea. And it's part of her job. And one of those people that she is intertwined with is Mr. Horace Vandergelder, the well-known unmarried half-a-millionaire and the first citizen of Yonkers. And in 1890, that is a humongo amount of money. $500,000? This dude was basically Elon Musk.
How much money is that in today's dollars?
Multi-million. Maybe, yeah, it's a lot. So he hired her to set him up with a nice woman to be his wife, and little does he know that Miss Dolly...
She set him up with herself.
Hell yes, yeah. Miss Dolly said, this man's got some money. And also I kind of like him, even though he's old and crusty.
Wow, are you really going to portray Dolly, one of your favorite characters?
The one who I resonate with a little bit?
Gold digger, is that...
She isn't. We'll get to that.
That's what we're going with?
No, because, okay. Well, guess what? It comes up in the satire later. Okay? So relax. Right. Dolly goes to great, excessive lengths to ruin all of his dates with these other women that she set up so that he'd be like, okay, maybe Dolly's kind of slay. Yeah, exactly.
All these dates. Not working out.
I got her unshelled chocolate peanuts. Why don't any of them like me? Anyway, so yeah, she kind of likes him, and she is under the guise of okay, he has a lot of money, but in her heart she's like, I kind of like him. But she feels bad because she's also a widow, and she misses her first husband who died. And so she's like, I don't want to marry someone else. I miss him. I miss my first husband. But it's fine, and we're gonna get to that, and it's fine, and it's slay. Next up, the next concurrent plot. My favorite one is of Cornelius and Irene and Barnaby and Minnie. Do you remember them? It
was the 2 dudes coming who worked for Horace.
Good.
And they pair up.
Yeah, basically.
And double date.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. That's a pretty good description. Just Cornelius and Barnaby are Horace Vandergelder's employees. They kind of have a Cinderella plotline where they're like, please, sir, please may we have one night of fun? And Mr. Crusty Horace Vandergelder is like, no, you have to stay and keep the shop open 7 days a week. This was before, workers had rights. So he was like...
Yummy, yummy.
Yeah, he was like, I'm going to work you till you die. I don't care that you're 28 and 19. Y'all, you aren't worth a cent till you're 40. That's a real
That's
quote.
a big age difference. I did not realize that when
Barnaby?
watching, I think.
Barnaby and Cornelius? Yeah.
28 and 19?
Yeah. And this man has never kissed a girl.
Oh.
Unfortunate. So that's part of their plan.
Given advanced virgin vibes.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is he's like, I gotta start kissing sometimes. And then Barnaby's like, I'm 19. For me, it's not as urgent. When really, in 1890, that was very urgent.
Yeah, because
And you're not married at 19? Get a grip. Basically, anyways, Dolly overhears their conversation and tells them that if they want to go to New York and kiss some ladies, she knows the perfect ladies, Irene Malloy and Minnie Fay. So they go, and they close the store, and they go, and they want to have their first kiss, and this setup is perfect for Dolly because this is partially how she ruins the engagement with Irene Malloy. It's the whole thing. There's so much tea, okay?
And then they're just like...
So much tea. Yeah, and then they're like... and they kiss. And I ship it so much, and they're so cute. The last plot line, and probably the least important one, is Ermengarde and Ambrose.
No idea what that is.
You don't remember these two?
No.
Okay. Ermengarde is Horace Vandergelder's niece. Because this man is old and lonely and doesn't have any kids of his own. So Ermengarde is his niece, and she wants to marry Ambrose, but Ambrose is a painter, and Horace Vandergelder is like, you aren't half a millionaire? Get out of my sight. Get out of my sight.
I have zero recollection of this plotline.
Yeah.
Just none. Just
yeah.
Completely
Their whole thing
gone.
was that she was 5 foot and he was 7 feet tall. And they were the weirdest combination pair ever.
Oh, okay.
Their height difference is actually kind of insane. But anyways, that's
not... I'd have to be a foot taller to achieve that height difference, but...
And when we stand next to each other, it's already alarming. So when these two stand next to each other, it's rough. But anyways...
You gotta get her, pogo sticks to, stand on.
So she'll just be bouncing the whole time?
No, not pogo stick, stilts.
Stilts, that's what you meant.
Yeah.
She's just bouncing.
Or they can just chop his shins off.
In 1890, he ain't living if they did that. That's the end of him.
Knees to feet. Oh, this is such a cursed imagery.
Yeah, that's just a fried meat.
I hate that.
Okay.
I hate
Anyways,
that.
Horace won't give his blessing for the marriage, so Dolly steps in and tells them to go to New York too, so she can expose Horace in front of everyone he knows.
Oh.
Okay?
Oh,
So
no.
It's a whole thing.
Conflict is building.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Miss Dolly pulling an Emma from Jane Austen is she's got her fingers in everyone's business. And she thinks she knows better than everyone else. And low-key, she kind of does. And it's slay. Anyways, the big scene happens at the Harmonia Gardens restaurant. Do you remember this? When they're all at the big fancy restaurant. And it's so Gorgina.
I remember that there was a lot of dancing that was delaying the plot.
Yeah, and we're going to get back to the dancing later. So they meet at this restaurant where Dolly sent everyone to meet up because it's the best place to go on a date. They all in one swoop, Horace loses everyone close to him. He sees Cornelius and Barnaby on a date and fires them. He gets into a fight with Ambrose, and everyone all at once just leaves him because they're all like, he's never going to change or care about us. So we might as well, cut him off. And Dolly talks to him and tells him she's going to leave too if he's only going to care about hoarding his money and not about the well-being of his friends or his family. So the next day, he kind of realizes what happened, and he's like, oh shit. No one loves me. Yeah, God. No one loves me anymore. Dolly went her way and I went mine. And
that seems to be a very Horace thing to do. It's just oh.
What's so crazy is Horace is supposed to be so old, and Walter Matthau was straight up 40 when he did that, and he looks like the oldest man ever. Yikes. Look up a picture of Walter Matthau. one on screen. This is him young.
Oh.
Crazy.
Yikes.
It's crazy. It's bonkers.
That must be really, like, sad and, like, mildly insulting to the actor.
Is he even still alive? I don't think he'll mind.
Okay.
He was typecast as a very old man for forever.
See.
Anyways, Dolly comes back to get her boa that she left, and in that moment, she's like, "Oh, I'll just set you up with another woman. It's fine, blah, 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 blah." And he's like, "I'm not gonna marry one if it isn't you, damn it!" And she's like, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God." And she really wants to, but she's like waiting for a sign from her late husband that it's okay to remarry. So she's like, I can't. And at the beginning of the movie, she was like...
And then a ghost comes out and talks to her and says it's cool.
Close. You're close. At the beginning of the movie, she was like, he should paint these shutters forest green shutters. And then in that moment, she was like, what's that guy doing? And he was like, painting the shutters forest green shutters. He also changes his mindset about something very serious, but we will get to that.
So then why is the late husband okay with it now that the shutters are green?
Well, that's the sign, is like, she said something and now he's like agreeing with her. So she's like, please just give me a sign that he's like right for me and that this is okay.
Sounds like
flimsy.
Sounds like the late husband had nothing to do with it.
No, you'll see, because there's more. I'll get to it. There's more.
Ghostly undead intervention, and I'm disappointed.
I don't think Ephraim is coming back. Okay. So what makes Hello Dolly comedic? We are going to circle back to some of this man's concerns in a second. So hold your horses. So, anyways, Hello Dolly is a combination of 3 types of comedy: comedy of manners, romantic comedy, with hints of satirical comedy that at times are blatant and at times are kind of hidden. So, what makes a comedy of manners? According to Oxford's Concise Dictionary of Literary Terms, it's a kind of comedy representing the complex and sophisticated code of behavior current in fashionable circles of society where appearances count for more than true moral character. Its plot usually revolves around intrigues of lust and greed, the self-interested cynicism of the characters being masked by decorous pretense, blah, 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 blah. So these are the main things.
What does that even mean?
That it basically means that they're witty, carefree.
They're like, going at it with the PDA.
Kind of, yeah. There's witty, carefree lovers. They're usually upper class.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of seduction. There's a dislike for arranged marriages. Wise, witty characters are rewarded, where the foolish ones are duped. Virtue is unsentimental or self-knowledge.
So why are these things funny?
These things are funny.
How are they comedic?
Because you're punching up, basically. This is basically punching up. Also, there's a very sexual undertone to all of this that is very apparent.
So basically, what you're telling us.
Yeah. Sex funny? Yeah.
Sex funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Basically.
Wow.
But also...
complex.
It also criticizes
very academic.
The manners in the upper class society. Right? Especially in Horace.
Okay.
Highly criticizes Horace.
Okay.
There's also other things, but I'm not going to get into, so chillax. Okay. Dolly's goal for Horace's money is to spread it down among the people. And money, pardon the expression, is like manure. It's not worth a thing unless it's spread around, encouraging young things to grow. And that it should spread and circulate like rainwater.
Is that a quote?
Yeah, those are quotes.
I like money's like manure.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah,
actually.
Right? Yeah. So
even from an economics perspective.
And we're circling around. Okay, get this. When she was
It's now a left brain video. No,
we're circling around. Back off. This is mine. I economics, Mr. Powell has me howl. Okay, we're slaying. We're slaying. I know what's going on. Anyways, Ephraim used to say that quote about Manure.
I can't believe you'd bring Jerome into this. Could you?
I'll bring Jerome into anything.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
Wow.
Anyway.
Anyway.
Can I say what I need to say?
Look at what's going on.
Can I say
She's
what I
probably
need to
going to cut this
say?
out because Jess is editing this video.
Anyways, circling back to what we were talking about, one of the signs that convinced Dolly that everything's fine is Ephraim used to say money is like manure. And right after the forest green shutters, he was like, oh, you know, that painter guy just set up a new business. And I've always felt, pardon the expression, that money is like manure. And she was like, oh, everything's fine now. I can marry again. Thank God. So
or
does
maybe
that
it's
convince
just a
you?
saying?
No, he invented the saying.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Ghosts. So basically...
What if he also just invented the saying too? This other guy.
Oh, that's rich. Like Horace, that's rich. Sure. Anyway, in the beginning, Horace kind of was really, really, really frugal and was like, I don't want to help anyone ever. And he would say stuff like, I've worked hard and I've become rich, friendless and mean. In America, that's about as far as you can go. And this is a perfect transition into the satire of the musical.
We skip past romantic.
We're ending on romantic.
Why'd you present it in that order then at the start? What are we doing? What are we doing here?
So satire is poking fun at society. It's predominantly urban, set in city life. There's still aspects of manners, just like comedy. There's there's societal expectations. So Horace is not only criticized for the selfish manners he has acquired, but there's also a gendered satire going on between him and Dolly. Horace is a firm believer in traditional gender roles, and he sings a song about it called It Takes a Woman, where he and plenty of just manly men talk about their expectations for their wives that they do not have. I wonder why. And the expectations start off pretty traditionally tame, just like cooking and cleaning and all that bullshit. But then the absurdity comes in with how outlandish and conflicting the expectations become. And the last line, she'll work until infinity, 3 cheers for femininity, is the nail in the coffin that this is a joke. Do you remember this song?
She'll work until infinity.
No.
Good.
Unfortunately not.
No, thank God. Thank God. Get it out your brain. Don't remember that.
I thought it was satire.
It is satire, but I'm still...
So why can't you remember satire?
I mean, you can remember it if you want.
What's wrong with knowing the satire?
The satire is a little too good. For the first half of the song, you're like, are they serious? Right after this song, Dolly sings It Takes a Woman reprise. She reprises the song, where she challenges all this and makes it clear that she is the one in control of everything that is going on and that will transpire. So basically, like, his song means jack shit. The irony also comes in knowing and watching Dolly absolutely dunk on this man at any opportunity when he thinks he's in control, and she just kind of swindles him, like, the whole time. This is actually also present in Cornelius and Barnaby's subplot, but to a lot smaller of a scale.
Don't they also have, like, a Cockney accent?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Okay, then.
Are you thinking of Mary Poppins?
I might be thinking of Mary Poppins.
You're thinking of When I Did.
I'm thinking of Mary Poppins.
You're thinking of Robert. You know you are.
So is that romantic comedy now, or is that still satire?
That's still part of the satire.
I see.
But we're moving on to romantic comedy.
Okay.
My
Let's see it.
favorite part. It's still a very predominant subgenre of comedy. The topics include love and marriage. It incorporates nature, which is situated in the country or the green world. This is kind of like Yonkers versus the city. you got the settings going on. There's usually generational conflict, which we can see in Ermengarde and Horace Vandergelder. Obviously, there's some conflict going on there between those two generations. There's some twists in the play that enables the young couple to get together, and there's comedic resolution, celebration, often in marriage. And this ends with a triple wedding. Triple wedding. Irene and Cornelius, Ermengarde and Ambrose, and obviously Horace and Miss Dolly. And it's slay. Usually in comedy, there is a blocking agent. Do you want to guess who the blocking agent is in Hello Dolly? Do you want to guess who it is?
What's a blocking agent?
A blocking agent is usually a person who is older, who blocks the characters from achieving their goal. Want to guess who it is?
Horace?
It's Mr. Horace Vandergelder.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So are you saying Horace is our antagonist?
Yeah, actually.
Oh,
Kind of.
spicy.
He kind of is. So, it has all these elements. And even though Hello Dolly may not be knee-slapping...
But then how is the romantic part funny? I'm a bit lost. Like, we talked about the satire. How is, like, love and marriage funny?
It's the way in which they are interacting with each other in this kind of way that it becomes funny. Like,
like, they don't know how to
that's part of
be
it.
romantic? Is that,
That's part of it.
It's just making fun of virgins? Is that what they did?
You know what? Sure. But it's also just kind of like comedy that has marriage and relationships and stuff at the forefront of the plot. It isn't necessarily that is funny. It's that there is funny things going on, but romance is at the forefront.
So
stuff that you don't like.
In conclusion, Hello Dolly is a rom-com?
Yeah, actually, yes,
Okay.
It is. It may not be knee-slapping, wheezing, crying, throwing up funny, but the absurdity of the situations and the character dynamics and the story are just very enjoyable. It's also just so pretty. Like, everything is so colorful and so cute, and the outfits, the costumes, the dancing, so slay. It was directed by Gene Kelly. Do you know who that is?
I've heard of that name before.
From me. Yeah, because you're a fake fan.
I've heard of that name in other locations, though I cannot remember.
Okay, Gene Kelly was basically a Broadway and musicals legend from the 1940s. He did tap dancing, and he directed this movie. So that's how you know that the dancing is so slay. The dancing is great, and I don't want to hear it. Okay? I don't want to hear it. The dancing is great, and it's not too much. No one would complain during Beauty and the Beast Be Our Guest sequence. That's long. No one complains during that, because, guess what? It's great.
Yeah, but
it's
they're
great
also,
and it's amazing.
Singing.
So,
there's more content.
But it's already a lot of stuff. No, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. You don't even know who Gene Kelly is.
Okay.
So who are you to judge his craft? Alrighty, so that is the tea.
Yep, that's
with Miss Hello Dolly.
all we have for today.
Y'all better watch it and love it and enjoy yourselves and love it and watch it because I say so.
Okay, live, laugh, love.
Live, laugh, love.